What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another early preview video. This time we're looking at some early footage for the next suit that will be coming to Gundam Battle Operation 2, the Atlas Gundam from the second season of Gundam Thunderbolt. The Atlas will be arriving as the banner suit at reset on the night of March 29th if you're in Pacific time, or really early in the morning on March 30th if you're in Eastern. Bandai Namco Entertainment America was kind enough to provide me with some early footage of this suit to share with you guys, so I want to give them a huge thank you. I also want to give you guys a disclaimer, and I'll put this in the description as well, but this is pre-release footage and the actual mobile suit is subject to change at release. So with that out of the way, let's get right into it. For those of you who aren't familiar with Thunderbolt, it's a series set in the Universal Century, but it's technically not canon. The first season takes place during the One-Year War, and the second season takes place the year after the war ends in UC 0080. The story focuses on two pilots, E.O. Fleming of the Earth Federation and Daryl Lawrence from the Principality of Zeon, and shows the horrors of war from their perspectives. Another thing that's common in Thunderbolt is the appearance of various experimental mobile suits, and the Atlas is one of these. The Atlas is an experimental amphibious Gundam developed by the Earth Federation that's also meant for data collection, and it's piloted by E.O. Fleming. It features a unique spherical joint system known as globe joints, which are based on Zeon's amphibious mobile suits, as well as waist-mounted sublegs that can attach to the Atlas's feet like skis to allow it to engage in high-altitude atmospheric combat or underwater combat. So how does it actually look in-game? Well, for starters, look at this fancy launch sequence. I'm a sucker for any unique launch animations. I think the devs do a really good job of making them look cool. Anyway, the Atlas is coming in as a 600 cost general. Let's take a look at the weapons and skills the suit has to offer. I'm not going to go over every single stat for the weapons because I'm going to be showing them in the hangar on screen, but I'll give a brief overview of each one and then show what it actually looks like in-game. Starting off with its main weapon, which is its signature railgun. It has a fast projectile speed and suppresses targets on hit, but has a short cooldown between shots. Its main melee weapon is its standard beam saber, and the Atlas does have melee combo controller level 1 as a skill, so you can do 2-hit melee combos. Moving on to sub-weapons, we have the Velos Medusa, which fires special rounds from the Atlas's shield. These rounds will temporarily limit the movement of targets and also prevent them from transforming or going into any sort of flight mode. Enemies that are already in flight mode will be forced out of it if they're hit by this move. We have the double beam sabers because obviously 2 is better than 1. These beam sabers allow for increased power and coverage compared to the singular one, and of course the combos just look cooler. Next we have an assault rifle with 40 rounds in the mag. This can be useful for mixing in between your railgun shots as you pursue enemies to keep up the pressure. And finally we have the AR mounted grenade launcher, which is slow and has low damage but is very accurate and staggers on hit. As for the skills, I mentioned earlier that it has melee combo controller, but let's go over the others. Starting off with sub-leg controller level 1, which activates Atlas's flight mode. While in this mode, you have increased mobility, reduced thruster consumption from high-speed movement, and reduced damage recoil while midair. Your movement and melee attacks are also synced with your reticle direction while active, but your power is reduced. This skill can also be used underwater. Aquatic mobile shooting level 1 enables firing weapons during high-speed movement while underwater for main weapons that can fire while moving. Leg Shock Absorber level 3 reduces the load on legs when landing. This is a no-brainer because the Atlas can enter flight mode, so it makes sense that they would make it less punishing for you to land. Next we have Quick Boost level 3, which reduces your charge time by 30% when jumping. Again, as a suit that has atmospheric flight capabilities, this just makes sense. We have Flight Control System level 3, which allows for additional actions in high-speed movement while in the air. Mid-air actions or high-speed movement have reduced thruster consumption to 50%, so what I'm getting from this is if you're playing Atlas, they want you to be flippin' and dippin'. Anti-Blast Stabilizer level 1 nullifies the explosions from enemy mobile suits. High Performance Bouncer level 1 lets you cancel your landings with a melee attack or tackle. And speaking of tackles, the Atlas has 2 counters. The first is a standard beam saber counter, and the second is much more flashy and uses the railgun. The second one triggers when you are below 50% HP thanks to High Performance Counter Program level 2. Maneuver Armor level 1 reduces reaction when you're hit by a ranged attack during high-speed movement. Forced Injector level 3, landing after evasive maneuvers can be cancelled with high-speed movement, and another evasive maneuver can be immediately performed afterward. Special L-Arm Equipment Buffer level 3 reduces HP loss from L-Arm equipment damage by 30%. I guess this is just because the shield is real chunky. And finally, Special Back Add-on Buffer level 4, which reduces HP loss by back add-on damage by 35%. That is your early preview of the Atlas Gundam. Once again, I would like to remind you that this is pre-release footage and may differ from what actually ends up in-game. I myself am not a very regular GBO player, so I will also be linking the videos of some other GBO creators that are much more knowledgeable than I am in the description, so make sure to check them out. Thank you once again to Bandai Namco Entertainment America for the early footage. I hope you guys are excited to see the Atlas in-game. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a positive rating and leave a comment down below if you plan on pulling on the Atlas banner when it goes live. Also, don't forget that my Discord is now live. You can join the server by using the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one.